Hello, hello. Happy New Year, everyone. We are excited to be back. I hope you all had a good break. I know that I did, and I'm looking forward to getting back to my routine and getting back to doing these lives twice a week with Casey. So we have a lot of fun things to share with you. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Jessica Melnick. I am the founder of the Anti-Arthritis Method. I am a registered holistic nutritionist. I am also the host of the Happy Joints Arthritis Solutions group. And I'm just going to turn it over to Casey to allow herself to introduce herself. And we're going to get started on our topic today.
I am Casey Kephart. I am the founder of Nutrition with Casey and the host of the free Facebook group Nutrition for Women with Autoimmune Disease. I'm a functional medicine nutritionist, and I work with all women with all different types of autoimmune diseases to thrive and trash your symptoms. And I live in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. I'm glad to be back with you here doing this. It felt like a long time away. I know it was only like a week or so, but it felt like a long break.
I'm happy to be off the couch.
Yes,
For those of you who don't know, I've been sick since last Sunday. So today is day 9 of just trying to get out of the couch. So beware of my brain fog today, and Jessica might have to take over.
Yes, I will do my absolute best. I still have I'm still in a little bit of holiday mode, just kind of easing myself back to real life. So we'll just do our best today. So before we get started today, we wanted to let you all know, if you aren't aware yet, we are doing a gluten-free challenge starting January 17th. But we're also going to be sending out all the resources that you need for the gluten-free challenge on the 10th. So that'll be this coming Monday that's coming up. And we just want to make sure that you have everything that you need to do this. So this is something we wanted to do because gluten is one of the most inflammatory foods that we can eat that contributes to autoimmune conditions and arthritis. And we wanted to explain, why gluten, what is it doing, how is it contributing to our pain, and just give you like a fun and interactive way where you can learn, and also just have an experience where you're going gluten-free for a couple weeks, and just seeing how amazing you can feel in even such a short time of being gluten-free. So is there anything else you wanted to add about the gluten-free challenge, Casey?
No, it's just really heavy on the accountability aspect of it, because usually when we try going gluten-free, dairy-free, or lose weight by ourselves, whatever the goal is, it doesn't come out like we want to. So with our challenge, you'll have both of us to ask us questions. You'll have 3 lives per week, which you can jump on and talk to us with. You'll have the worksheets to follow along. So really just support and accountability is is the difference between you doing this by yourself and you doing it with a community that's on the same page with you. So again, comment below, tell us you're in, and we'll reach out to you, make sure you're all set up for what you need come the 17th.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. So today we're going to start off by talking about mindset. And the reason why we wanted to talk about mindset is because whenever we're making changes for our health, especially like dietary changes, it's super, super important to be in the right mindset so that we can actually make those shifts actually last, and so we get the most benefit from that. So when we talk about mindset, what we actually mean by that are a few things. So what our thoughts need to look like in order to create the changes that we want in our lives. Because thoughts create feelings, and feelings create behaviors. So if we want to change our behaviors to something that is conducive to creating better health in our life, we also need to have the appropriate thoughts to get ourselves to behave in a way that's going to create positive change. And change is hard because it's really deep rooted in our upbringing, our culture, our social interactions, and being willing to look at things differently and being aware of our thoughts is how they're holding us back makes us open to the change that we need to improve our health. So,
Mhm.
Casey, why don't you tell us a little bit about like what a mindset shift looks like for going
Yeah.
gluten free?
Yeah, definitely. So, what we mean by making sure your thoughts are in line with your goal is, and we all know this, so this will be a refresh for you, but sometimes we don't notice we're doing it. So, going into this challenge, let's say, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be really hard. I don't know what I'm doing. I've done this before and I failed. Why can't I just be like everybody else and, be able to eat gluten with no problems? So those are thoughts, those are inhibiting thoughts. These thoughts are going to inhibit you from actually succeeding and getting to the finish line of, which is in this case, 14 days gluten free.
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that our thoughts are in line with our end goal here. So end goal, gluten free for 14 days strictly. Starting thoughts. I'm going to crush this 14 days. I'm going to reach out to Jessica and Casey if I need help. I'm going to reach out to the other girls, the women that are doing this challenge. I'm going to be prepared for that starting day on Monday, and I'm going to feel so much better come day 14, and it's going to set me up for success. Those are all positive moving thoughts that are going to honestly just make you kick ass in the challenge. You're going to succeed. Sure, it may be hard, but your mindset already told you that you're doing this, so you're going to get over that hardness, that barrier, or that challenge that you're going through.
Yeah, because it's not about willpower. I think willpower
Or
is
motivation.
yeah, it's motivation just comes and goes. Like motivation
Mhm.
is just like more like a feeling. It's an
Mhm.
exciting feeling and it can sustain you for part of like making some changes, but it doesn't keep you going when things get tough. It's our actions and our mindset that keeps us going when things are tough. And so that's why willpower doesn't work. Like you're not going to white knuckle yourself through this because you're not going to make it
Yeah.
stick. You're not going to keep it as a long-term change because it's no fun to use willpower and white knuckle our way through something because we're just waiting for it to be over. So for
Yeah.
example, like when I had to start changing my diet to get my joint pain in remission, I was not in a good mindset. I also did not have a coach at that time. I was on my own and I was trying to figure
Mhm.
this out myself. And I was miserable. And if I'm going to be completely honest, and my mindset was really unhealthy. I was angry that I had to make these changes
Yeah.
because I was like, I already take good care of myself. Why do I have to change what I'm eating in order to get myself feeling better? I felt like, why me? The whole victim
Yeah.
mentality, not fair. And what if I can't eat like my favorite junk food ever again without like having a flare up? All these thoughts, I was just focusing on all these things that I was losing. And what I ended up having to do and coming around to actually like making changes that stuck was accepting that
Yeah.
I had to make these changes in the way that I'm thinking and in my life, and that it's okay. And life is never fair. For that's just life. And instead of having that victim mentality, I had to accept that this is what's been given to me right now, and I
Yeah.
can choose to wallow in self pity and be angry and sad about it, or I can take the information that I have and use it for my best good, and use it to get myself better. And so I had to kind of start small. I had to think one day at a time, like, okay, today
Mhm.
I'm going to focus on, making time to do something that I enjoy instead of focusing on, oh, I can't wait till the end of the day to
Yeah.
have a glass of wine and some cheese before bed.
Yeah.
It was like I need to come up with things that I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to also, and I had to think every day, okay, well, why am I doing this again? So, what is putting my
Yeah.
joint pain in remission going to allow me to do? And getting excited about what my life is going to look like when I wasn't in pain and hobbling around my house.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I was just going to say I'm very future thinking too in these types of scenarios. So whether it was going gluten free, whether it's I was just talking to Jessica about my goal of reading books this year and whatever the goal is. So, thinking about how you'll feel when you get it done, either every single day or that 14-day mark or the year mark, how you're going to feel is what I think. So, Casey, you're going to feel healthier. You're going to be able to play volleyball longer. You're going to be able to be smarter. You're going to be able to make more money, whatever it is. That's what I think about when I'm going through this time where it might not be so fun.
Mhm.
But also mindset is in learning to enjoy the process, learning to enjoy this journey that we're on. Yeah, going gluten free might really suck. Actually, it does suck in the beginning until you know what you're doing and you find those foods that you really enjoy. But learning to just appreciate and be grateful for that every day you're doing your goal is something to really try out because it's going to help. Gratefulness can get you through a lot. And be grateful that you have this opportunity to do it. Be grateful that you have a community supporting you. Be grateful that you have the tools and the education to do it now. Be grateful that you may be saving money from going to the doctor every month or a hospital stay 5 years down the road. Like, there is so much to be grateful for accomplishing and doing your goals. And I would encourage you to write that down every day on what you're grateful for and what you get to do, not what you have to do. That's mindset right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know we were going to list off a few examples of actions that you can take and what you need to ask yourself to shift that mindset around making, the shift to gluten-free or any other health change, or basically any new habit you want to start in your life. And one of them is changing what normal eating means to you.
Mhm.
So this is a big one because especially like I'm in Canada, Casey's in the States, in North America, I think in Australia too, kind of like our whole Western diet that has been around for a long time, kind of like our typical standard American diet, it's kind of been our normal for like
Mhm.
decades. And
Normal.
and it's often seen as like if you eat any differently than that, it's like, oh, well, you're really missing out, or that's no fun. And
Mhm.
it's just not true. And I'm just being open to looking at things different. So, like, normal and feeling like garbage, like, I don't want that to be my normal. I don't want to eat food that's making me feel tired and sluggish or have joint pain or other autoimmune symptoms or acne or psoriasis. I don't, that to me, that shouldn't be normal. That the food I'm eating is creating pain for me.
Yeah, right, exactly. And at least in the States, normal is obese, normal is not sleeping well, normal is acne, normal is not being able to play the sports or do the activities you want to do because you're lethargic and overweight and have joint pain. That's normal here. I don't want to be normal. But on another point to that, our bodies are so individualized. Your body is not the same as Jessica's body. Jessica's body is not the same as my body, and so on and so on and so on. So we can't really decide what's normal for everybody, right? Because we are so individualized internally and externally. So my normal, which is gluten free, dairy free, all the frees, is my normal, but that might not be Joe's normal next door. His normal may be, gluten free, but he can tolerate dairy. It just depends. So I think we should all really just nix the normal mentality that we have and kind of start saying to ourselves, what is normal?
Mhm.
uh, I think we'll really find some insight into that if we just ask ourselves that every day or every time that thought comes up that we want to eat the pizza or the eggnog or whatever it is for you.
Yeah, absolutely. One other
Um,
thing too, sorry, Casey, you go ahead if you have another point you wanted to make.
no. I was done with the normal thing.
No. One of the points too I've already touched on is the like getting rid of that why me and victim mentality and shifting it into acceptance and a self-care mindset. So, and you talked a lot about that too, Casey, so I'm not going to get into it too much more, but, making the best of things, being grateful to have answers to your problem, and just like stop fighting against yourself, like just instead of being stuck in that this isn't fair or this sucks,
Yeah.
shifting that and focusing on what is going well for you. And the fact that it's like, oh, I have tools and I have things that I know I can do that are going to help.
Yeah. And to that point, nobody's going to come save you. No one's going to rescue you. No one is going to give you a magic pill to make you feel better. So staying in this mindset forever or for another 6 months to a year of, this sucks. I hate my body. It hurts. And complain won't get you help. It's not moving you forward anyways. So, being strong and being I don't know, taking charge of your health is what's going to get you help. So
Mm-hmm.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
The next one is addressing barriers. So it's unrealistic to think that you're not going to have any barriers come up. We all live life. We all have, things that challenge us day to day. So for me, it's my energy right now of being sick. For Jessica, it might be, community or friends coming to her place or whatever it is. And we need to think about that before we start our goal on the 17th. So let's say before the 17th of our gluten-free challenge, think about the barriers that might come up in those next 14 days. Are your kids' meals going to come up? Or do you have to make 2 meals for your family? Do you have a lot of events you need to go to? Do you have a birthday party that you need to go out for and you don't know what you're going to eat? Is your family not supportive of you or your friends not supportive? How are you going to address that? Are you working long hours? Do you have a vacation coming up? Are you going through a hard time because a loved one just passed? Like, there's just so many barriers that could come up or are already there. That you need to maneuver around. Just because there's barriers in your life doesn't mean that you can't accomplish your goals still. It's just going to take some finessing and some thought to how you're going to do this. Are you going to plan ahead and cook your meals? Are you going to bring it up to your family and friends that you're doing this gluten-free challenge and you need help? Thinking about that is one of the keys to success to accomplishing your goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And like anything, when you're doing something new, it's always the trickiest at the beginning, but it
Mhm.
will get easier. You just have to keep doing it and ask for support, and it will get better and it'll become like second nature. Like,
Yeah.
even if I look back on what I eat now versus what I ate when I was first like starting to get arthritis, it's like night and day. And back
Mhm.
then, I couldn't imagine eating how I eat now. Like, it
Yeah.
just seemed so unusual to me. And now it's just, I don't even hard have to think about it anymore. It's just becomes part of your day to day. So
Exactly. I remember when I first went gluten-free, it was really hard, but now everybody who enters my life knows I'm gluten-free just because I ask for it at the restaurant. I make gluten-free things for my events, and it's gotten to the point where my friends and my family now bring gluten-free dishes to my place for these events because they know I can't eat gluten containing food. So it's just a matter of repetition and getting people on board. And it's no longer a barrier anymore being gluten free because everybody knows and accepts it and understands. And it's just like, oh yeah, Casey's gluten free. Let's go to a restaurant that's not a bakery, like
yeah,
it becomes normal. It becomes easier.
absolutely. Another one is just getting really clear on how your current symptoms are affecting your life. So, how is it affecting your work? How is it affecting your home life? How is it affecting your social life, your relationships with your family, your mental, your emotional health, all those things? Like, our lives are so multifaceted. And when we are sick or experiencing a flare of our autoimmune condition or arthritis, it affects everything.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being terrified that I wasn't going to be able to work. Like my hands weren't working at a certain point
Mhm.
in time. Like there was a time where I could barely get upstairs. I had to like pretty much crawl upstairs and go up with like one leg on my bum. Like it was ridiculous. So, it affects everything.
Yeah, it does. And even if you're not that severe as Jessica, but imagine yourself as at 100% healthy, what you could do with that, what you could do with that energy. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you developing a business? Think about how much more energy you'll have and how much more clarity in your brain you'll have to be able to move yourself up to that next level of your business, or to get that promotion at your corporate job, or to just do more things with your kids and provide them a greater life. So just because you're not feeling awful or have a severe chronic condition doesn't mean that you can't exponentially improve your life with feeling just 50% better, or just take it to the next level is what I'm getting at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's just so many things that you're doing this for. And I think sometimes we can get stuck in a rut and think that, it's never going to get better, or what's the
Yeah.
point in trying, because at the best, I'm going to just feel a tiny bit better. I'm telling you, it's definitely not true. It's absolutely worth it for sure.
Yeah. So before I said that I was a forward thinker, so usually, or a future thinker, they can mean the same thing. But usually what I say is think about, I always have problems with this quote, but think about where you were 6 months ago, and think about if you started your health journey 6 months ago, where you would be right now. So let's say you're doing this gluten-free challenge with us starting January 17th. Go into it thinking about 6 months from now, where can I be if I just do this today, tomorrow, the next day for 6 months? Um, so 6 months is going to pass, whether you like it or not. Let's make it worth it. Let's make some changes happen.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that way of thinking, and that quote, like how you put it, thinking about where you'd be if you started 6 months ago when you first wanted to, instead of waiting.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And yeah, so like again, the reason why we're talking about mindset today is because it's the first step to succeeding with diet changes like going gluten free. So we definitely want you to join us for the challenge. The reason we're doing it is because we know it's not easy to do this on our own, and it's just so much more. It's more. It actually makes it fun when you have people to talk to about it, and you're learning something new, and just have a better understanding of like why you're doing this, why it's important, how is this going to help you. And we've got everything figured out for you. We've got all the resources for you. So you're going to have everything from recipes to lessons on how to get your mindset in the right place. So we've got everything covered in terms of what you're going to need to be successful, and we're here for you. So I'm
And
excited.
all it takes is your participation. So we laid it out as simple as we can. So again, think about where you'll be in 6 months if you do this with us. And I think going gluten free is, in my opinion, the first step to feeling better and feeling healthier. You're kind of getting the hard part out of the way. And we have all the other answers for you too after that. So again, comment below of this video, just say I'm in. We'll contact you. We'll make sure we get you into the right place so you can be a part of our challenge. And if you have any questions before you want to say I'm in, feel free to drop those too, or direct message us, or do what you need.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope to talk to you soon.
See you Thursday. Bye, everybody.